Lowender Peran.
Cornish tunes on the Scottish war pipes played by David Cruz got the festival off to a rousing start. All the Celtic countries have festivals like this. Cornwall's is still the smallest, but it's growing year by year. It's being visited this year by performers from Scotland, Wales, Ireland, the Isle of Man and Brittany, many of whom braved difficult journeys to be there.
Virtually everybody who should have arrived today came on a ferry of some kind or other, and of course the seas have been at force 9 over the last 2 days, and I think everybody's feeling extremely green and seasick, and plus being about 4 or 5 hours behind time.
Now I know that you actually have got quite a feast of music and dance in store over the weekend when they recover, but the festival is more than just entertainment, isn't it?
Yes, it's your opportunity to come along and have a go. We've got dance workshops every day so that you can learn the various dances from each of the nations, and then in the evening you can come and practice what you've learnt during the day at the Cayleys. And also we've got a wrestling workshop, Cornish wrestling of course, which is for gentlemen only unfortunately, and we have some musical instrument workshops. They vary. We've got a strings workshop, pipes workshop, things like that, but they're sort of posted each day as people turn up and say, I'll do a workshop, and we carry on, but it's mainly for people to learn.
So when people from all the Celtic countries get together, what is it do you find that you have in common that binds you together?
Because basically you've got the language. All the languages have got some similarity. You've got the Brittonic languages and the Gaelic languages. We've got our similarity with Wales and Brittany. And then you've got the Manx and the Irish and the Scottish. Somebody who can speak Cornish could probably speak to a Breton and be understood, and the same applies in Wales. And then you've got the dances, and they're very interesting because in North Cornwall we've got some dances that are very similar to dances in Ireland, where you had the migration of the Irish over to Cornwall. We've got a step dance that's virtually identical. In the southern part, in sort of around Penzance and Newlyn, you've got dances there that are virtually identical to dances in Brittany, again, where the migration of the Celts occurred. You've got the similarity.
Well, they're obviously going to have a good weekend, and we sincerely hope...
Nation, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, the Isles of Man, Brittany, and of course Cornwall. And the gathering is called the Lowender Peran, a festival of Celtic culture. But it's not all singing and dancing, there's also Cornish wrestling. Mr. Kendall, watching Frederick and Mark there, it looks as though it can get a bit tough at times, does it?
Well, we do have a few minor injuries, but it's not our aim to injure anyone at all. Our aim is to drop a man flat on his back so that we get what we call a back, and that's the end of the contest.
Oh, that's it, it's finished.
That's it. It can be all over in a few seconds, or it can, in championship bouts, we wrestle for a 10-minute round, and we score points. But a back overrules all that. If you get a back, that is three out of 4 pins. That's the shoulders and the hips. They're known as pins in Cornish wrestling. And if in the opinion of the sticklers, that's the 3 men who umpire them, or referee them. We call them sticklers, you see, in Cornish style. And if 2 agree that it's a back, that's the end of the contest.
Now, I presume because it's such a tough sport that the contestants have to be fairly well matched.
Yes, we do try to match them by weight and experience. And, of course, in the age categories. But then again, you can get a 12-year-old boy about this high and another one, you know, that makes me look a dwarf.
Now, we did hope to have our own TSW champion here today, but unfortunately he's injured himself, so I've been nominated. Now, I must just make it clear, it's not for women at all, is it?
No, we don't entertain women in the sport at all.
So I'm just standing
here.
in...
What you like, shoulders, pig and all the rest of it. We don't entertain women. It's not a sport for women. No. We don't think it is. You know. I
don't think it is, but perhaps if you can just show me a couple of holds.
Yes, by all means, we're prepared to do that.
Shall we go? Steady there.
This is Frederick.
Hello, Frederick. I'll put the jacket on, shall I?
Your jacket.
Plenty of room for growth.
Well, all the holds are taken on the jacket. No holds below the waist at all. You shake hands to start the bout, and after each hitch, I mean, when you go to floor and you break the hitch, you stand up, shake hands, and recommence.
Well, it's very gentlemanly.
Yeah. So I'll just show you where to put the hands and how we start the bout, and then you can have a go at Frederick. So we shake hands, jacket gathered up round the neck, so that you've got a good hold. Then you can move in the position with either hip. I'll attack with the right hip and throw him with what we term the forehip. Or turn him here. Get him up on the hip. Turn him over, drop him flat on his back. Now, in a contest, that would win me the bout.
Yes.
And it'd be all over.
Right.
All right. So, if you'd like to...
Are you all right?
Always shake hands.
Yeah, fine.
Don't want to hurt you.
Shake hands and gather up the jacket.
Oh, it's a bit complicated here. Right. Now this hand goes...
Underneath.
Underneath.
And your foot across here.
My foot goes across...
There.
Like that.
And right over the top.
Oh, good heavens. You're at the contest. I can see why women don't do it. Come on, flipping heck.
The sticklers awarded you a back. So
that's very nice of you. I'll buy you a drink for that later. Perhaps you'd like to show me some of the, you know, other moves that you do.
Okay.
Position for the foot.
Oh, whistle.
Start
under E,
yeah, start again.
Under E.
I'll just demonstrate the under E.
Yes, in slow motion.
Like if I can get my head down.
Oh, shall I put this hand on there?
Under it there.
Keep going, help her up. Help her up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. And another one? It's all right for you.
I'll just demonstrate.
Do I have to hold you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hang on, please. Hang on for grim death.
And then I...
Arm around his neck.
Oh, yes. And then I...
And pull them with this hand.
Right.
Go with it. Go with it.
Oh,
Sorry.
all right.
Yeah, lovely job.
Good, I thought I'd hurt you for a minute there. Thank you. That's lovely. It's definitely not for women, I can say that. David Rogers, I'll kill him. Thank you.
Thank you.
I tell you, he was a big lad, that Frederick. The Cornish Wrestling Workshop, men only, remember, is at the Pontsmere Hotel at 2 tomorrow afternoon. But Lowender Peran is already underway. There's Celtic music and dance tonight, street dancing in Perranporth and Truro tomorrow, dance workshops, choral concerts and a pageant of Celtic dancing and pipes. Details from the festival office on Perranporth 3103.
Also this weekend, yet another carnival. Tomorrow sees Newton...
They're having an evening of Celtic music and dance with the Cam Canuac Ceilidh Band and dance display team. Well, when I heard that, how could I resist having a go? Good night. awfully sorry. I'm really sorry. I thought I had it there. Actually, Merv, I think you were a bit lethal on the turn there.
Right, so, yes.
Well, actually, now we've stopped a moment, perhaps you can tell me a bit about the dance group. Cam Canuick, is that right?
That's right, yes.
And what does that mean?
Well, Cam Canuick is Cornish, and it means stepping it out in Cornish. But there's a slight pun with it, because it also means a Cornish mistake, which is what you made, of course.
I made a Cam Canuick there.
That's right.
And when did the group form?
Group formed about 3 years ago with the aim of encouraging interest in traditional Cornish dances. And we both demonstrate them and collect them ourselves. Some dances are collected from oral tradition from elderly people. And others, like Phoebe, which we've just done, was collected from manuscript form.
And you just translate it out and have a go on the floor?
Have a go, get some tunes, put it together and see whether we can get it working, you know.
So what about the costumes? Are they traditional?
Well, they're all derived from traditional sources. In fact, there were several tartans worn in Cornwall at one time, and this is the modern Cornish national tartan. And what we've done, we've taken elements of traditions and put them together to make a nice presentation.
Mm. Where do you recruit your members from?
All over Cornwall. We've got some from St Johnstone, one from North Hill, satellite engineers, social workers, physiotherapists, firemen, the lot.
Oh, marvellous. Well, I think I'm going to let you get on with it. I'll call Pat in. Pat, would you like to come in and show us how it's meant to be done? I'll leave you to it. Thank you.
show us a traditional jig.
David Collister and Yvette Corlett are part of Lowender Peran. There are events all day Saturday and Sunday.
Wales, Brittany and Ireland to take part. Our guests on What's Ahead tonight are two sisters from County Kerry, 9-year-old Maureen and 10-year-old Lisa Hegarty. They're going to dance a hornpipe, and the accordionist is Timmy Brosnan.
And you can see more of Lisa and Maureen's dancing at the Lowender Peran Celtic Festival at the Pontsmere Hotel, Perranporth, tomorrow and Sunday. Your father's from Ireland, isn't he?
Yeah, that wasn't him playing, though.
No, in fact, tomorrow night there's Aguari Dons, a dance spectacular to you, featuring dancers from Ireland, Brittany, Scotland, the Isle of Man and Wales.
The Pasadena Roof Orchestra are the...
Despite its ancient trappings, the Cornish Gorsedd was first held in 1928, based on a ceremony in Wales. Since then, many hundreds of bards have been initiated. The title's conferred for services to the county or for competence in the Cornish language. The prime task of the Gorsedd is to initiate new bards, and for them, it's a proud moment.
Well, it's certainly a great honour. I've been involved with Cornish things for many years, and this is more or less one of the greatest honours that can be bestowed upon anyone in the Cornish Cultural Society, I would have thought.
Well, being a Cornishman, and very proud to be a Cornishman, it is a tremendous feeling to be asked to become a bard.
In our mer yw bos Gris Barth and Orseth.
At the start of the ceremony, there's a symbolic call to the Cornish nation. There then follows more than an hour of ritual. Eventually, the men are admitted to the ranks of the bards. At the end of the Gorsedd, the bards come forward to swear loyalty on the sword of King Arthur. This year, only 5 bards were initiated, the lowest number since the war. But the organisers say that means nothing. Next year, and for years to come, there'll still be new men and women to proclaim their love of their county.
Quite a pageant. Cornwall celebrating and Balwhenny. Then the place to be this weekend is Perranporth. From now until Sunday the 22nd, groups such as this one from Cornwall, Camp and Newark, are all at the Pontsmere Hotel for the 11th annual Celtic Festival, which last year attracted more than 3,000 visitors.
Lowender Peran, you Lowender Celtic, you Lowender Gans Taclo Dworth, Iwerthen, Dworth Alba, Dworth Kembri, Dworth Ennisvannin, Breton Vane, Hakerno, Ottany Lemon in Kerno. In Lowender Peran, you ma discus dance, you ma discus pibersac and traclavarol. In with you ma Troil Albanic, Troil Canuic.
Too true. Hundreds of Cornish schoolchildren converged on a Perranporth hotel today for a celebration of Celtic culture. They're taking part in the 13th year of the Lowender Peran Festival, which attracts Celtic artists from all over the UK and from Brittany.
Children have always been a feature of Lowender Peran, but this year they were performing dances and plays to a chosen theme, feasts and fair days. Youngsters from Perranporth Primary had devised their own play, Pisky Threshers, apparently based on an ancient Celtic legend.
I'm a farmer. I go into the barn and I find 8 sacks of corn, but I thresh 2, but thresh 4. No, 6. Then he sees the Piskies working in the barn and he goes to tell his wife, and his wife still doesn't believe him. He takes her out to the barn and they see the Piskies working, and then the wife sews the Piskies a new jumper each for a reward.
Lowender Peran is the highlight of the Cornish Celtic calendar. The festival draws Celtic artists from Cornwall, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, the Isle of Man and Brittany.
There's representatives here from every Celtic nation, and anybody who's short of a musician will grab a musician from another nation or a dancer from another nation. They can all intermix and enjoy themselves together.
Celtic culture and crafts abound, in all shapes and sizes. Even a Negro spiritual gets the Celtic treatment.
Very nice too. Well, the Piskies, the farmers and the Lowender Peran Festival will continue to do their thing at the Ponsmere Hotel in Perranporth until...
Now then, a four-day festival of Celtic culture began in Cornwall today. The celebrations might have been expected to be somewhat dampened by revelations this year that the Cornish are genetically no more Celtic than your average Brummie, but not a bit of it. The Celts turned up with undiminished passion for their roots.
From all the Celtic lands they came, like this dance troupe from Ireland. But had they come to a bogus Celtic kingdom? A scientific survey recently revealed that the Cornish are more Anglo-Saxon than Celtic, but it didn't bother the Irish.
For us, we find the Cornish very Celtic indeed, and people would acknowledge that the Irish are Celts, and we certainly feel at home among our fellow Celts when we come to Cornwall. When we come to Cornwall, it's like going into a different room in the same house. We don't feel we're away from home.
Apparently being a Celt is more of a cultural thing. It's in the music.
In Ireland, in the olden times, before television, radio, or before people could afford to buy an accordion or a tin whistle or a side flute or anything like that, they used to translate their music by lilt, which was music by the mouth rather than anything else.
The Bretons are working hard to show how Celtic they were with some forensic music and dance at the festival's GHQ in Perranporth, a good Celtic name. But why were they doing it?
You've just seen hundreds of kids enjoying themselves. That's real. That's what it's all about, enjoying yourself.
Has this realisation that the Cornish aren't actually genetically Celtic put a damper on this year's festival a bit?
Not for me personally. I was very, very concerned at all that, my blood or my skin colour would make me different from somebody else. And I personally was quite relieved to find that, we were all the same in the end. From my point of view, it's linguistic and it's cultural. This is what it's all about.
The original Celts were a strange crew. According to one Celtic wag, in the 5th century BC, they upped Styx from the lower Danube, sacked centres of culture like Delphi and Rome, and then settled in Redruth. Strange indeed, but not stupid. As the festival's stalls revealed, there's money to be made from the Celt cult, but they insist that it's something infinitely more spiritual.
It's a total way of life and a belief.
It's the roots of culture in Britain and in Ireland and in Scotland and in Cornwall.
It's better to look to the wider aspects of Europe and European culture than to be restricted by the inhibitions of the narrowness of the Anglo-Saxon culture, which centres on London.
Still, as the Celts inside celebrated the land of their forefathers, outside it was possible to see what their forefathers found so mystical and special about this particular Celtic